Maybe we should look back on 2010 when the Philippines came on the landmap of football in the Suzuki Cup. When they played in Vietnam, they beat Vietnam on home soil. And I have taken over after that tournament, and that is now 1.5 years. And we've done steady and very good progress until now. So we actually brought many new players in. We had many scouting trips overseas, all over the world, and now we have a very solid group of 25 players. And actually, there's no difference between the starting members and the one on the bench. Not so much as it used to be before. So that is the greatest achievement, and that gives me big hope for the Suzuki Cup in November, December this year. My reaction has always been and will always be the same. I give them the example. I am married with a Japanese woman since 10 years, very happy. My kids are half or double citizens, as you might see it. And the current world, the global movement is like this, you know, we mix, cultures mix with each other. And it is not that these are naturalized players who live in the country for 5 years. The mother, in 90%, is a Filipino lady. In some cases it's the father who's from the Philippines, so there's nothing to discuss from other countries. I mean, I know that other countries have a different policy. China, for example, they don't accept the half Chinese. They don't take advantage of this. You might see it from a different angle, but I feel that there is no problem about it. First of all, we are blessed that we have players who have been educated in real soccer countries, unlike the Philippines, and are giving now their knowledge and their abilities to the country, mostly of their mother. So that was a process that took some time. We always speak of cohesion. We are trying to have camps to mingle together, that the players know each other, because this is also a big strong factor of the team spirit that helped us in the Challenge Cup big time to overcome many problems ahead of the tournament. So it was the art of the coaching staff and of the management and of the players to really grow together and create a unity that also reflects on the field. So I think that was a big achievement, and in terms of communication, it's okay, most of them speak English. Angel Guraido is the one who's a little bit behind, but we also try to lift his level of English. So that is not an issue anymore, so I'm very happy with the group now. It was the biggest achievement in the history of Philippine football. It was a little bit difficult because we had North Korea as our first opponent. And for me, myself, I already didn't think too deeply about the match. Of course, we prepared professionally and we wanted to get the best possible result, also in terms of goal difference. But it was clear that these machines would roll over us, you know, it was clear, because they had, the group is long time together, and you could see that in the match. And we get a good result. 2-0 was a good result for me, the tournament, and I already said that ahead of the tournament. Started with the India match and Tajikistan. We needed 6 points out of these 2 matches, we got them. And unfortunately, 3 of our players were suspended in the semi-final. And in the last 10 minutes, we lost the match against Turkmenistan. So I'm more than sure with the 3 players, if they wouldn't have been suspended due to injury or suspension, we would have made it to the final. And we would even have had a chance to beat Korea, because the final was very close. So Turkmenistan actually was having a penalty kick in the 82nd minute. But they missed it, and then Korea got one 4 minutes later and win the tournament 2-1. So if you see our team there now growing through the tournament with the players available, I think we would have had a chance. We are now, if you see the movement since 2 years, since this Azkals success has come into the country, it's like unbelievable what is happening there on the grassroots level already now. And the movement and the enthusiasm of young players and kids and girls also who really want to play football now. And we are trying to put everything into a good development program We are now in negotiations with the German FA to bring a technical consultant over for a period of 4 years, fully funded by the German FA, and working closely with me, hopefully, for the next 2-3 years. And then take everything one step at a time. And I think that is the only realistic approach we can do. And also what we need is to bring local investors, and we are now in negotiations with really rich people and big companies to support this grassroots development program for the next 5 to 10 years. From a coach's point of view, you shouldn't say that, but he's one of my favorite players because I like the way he moves, I like the way he understands the game, and I'm 100% sure if Chieffy, like many of our other players, would have been growing up in England or in Germany, wherever, and would have had this education, he wouldn't play for the Philippines. I think he would then play for his father's home country, which could be German or England, wherever, because of course with the environment in the Philippines and with the poor education and with the low level of education in football, he could only make it to this stage, which is already fantastic. Yeah. So he's a real one of the local heroes, and he's also the co-captain and a wonderful guy. Yeah. Understands football very, very well. Unfortunately, recently a little bit handicapped from certain injuries, so now we have to get him back on track. But he will play on Friday, and that will be the first step back into the team. That is an issue, you know, because I've seen smaller countries rising. Even China at the time when I was there was not really, they just participated in the World Cup at that time in 2002, but there was no real football culture there. It's now better with big money coming there. I saw it in Rwanda, where we brought the under-17 to the World Cup, and I see it now. Rising nations in football, often the expectations grow too fast with a small success, you know, and I know how to balance it out, because of course I want to be part of a success story, but I also know what it takes really to stabilize and to bring a team for a longer period on a certain level, and that takes much more time. And in the Philippines we are actually just a small group of people who run the show, more or less, and apart from that there needs to be a lot of education. There needs to be a lot of improvement in the infrastructural level, facilities, etc. It's not there, you know. I go now to Malaysia. Here I have, if I go here, I have 10 pitches in an environment of 10 kilometers. Here in the Philippines, I have 10 pitches all over, and on a very, very poor level. So the basic to make training is just not yet there. So we are working on really poorest conditions and trying to make the best out of the situation. But the expectations are already like going to the World Cup, you know, so we have to balance that out a little bit more. I have to be a little bit more composed on that one. I have to work hard in the next 3 to 5 years. Then we will see which way we can go. Based on the success and based on the performance of the players in the Challenge Cup, we are trying to bring this team as often together as possible. So we have international matches and camps throughout the year. We will go to America in August for 3 weeks on an invitation from Chicago Fire and play 2 international matches against Belize and Virgin Islands, and also against Chicago Fire. Then in September we have our artificial pitch which we inaugurated, and hopefully we play Bahrain, Qatar or China, 2 of those 3 teams. Then we have in the end of September we go to Taiwan for the Long Ten Cup. It's a tournament between Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau and the Philippines. It's annual, so this gives us a good chance to test the players in match competition. October will be a camp in the Middle East, in Bahrain, with international matches. And in September, in November we go for 9 to 10 days to Japan, to Osaka, and play 2-3 J-League clubs. That will be, so we will be all the time together, more or less. James and Phil are like, first of all, fully starting members, 100%. If they're there, they play every match. Phil is exceptional striker, and unfortunately last year they had problems. They lost their mother, and it took a toll on them a little bit, and they dropped a little bit in performance, and we had to help them, and their environment helped them. basically they are very good boys, also pillars of development of football in the Philippines, having their own football academy, also going out into showbiz a little bit, taking, this is Filipino style, securing their retirement money or making money out of it, which is okay. But as footballers and as team players, just very, very good and very, very important, because we have to, basically we have to focus on the ones who are in the country. And they are the ones who are really exceptionally always there, always present, and contributing to a very, very good team performance. Stefan is the best player we have. I think everybody is always asking when does Schrock come and is he there, is he available? And unfortunately we don't have a grip on him too much. I was discussing with his club and with himself. I mean, if he would have been, I mean, this is already, it doesn't help to look back, but if he would have been in Nepal, we would have gone all the way, I'm sure, because he makes such a big difference. He has skills no one has. He's so good in dribbling and getting away from the opponent and playing killer passes, champagne passes, you know. It's exceptional, really exceptional player. So, as much as we like to see him and as much we also love him as a person, but we have to see the reality. He's most of the time unfortunately not there. So I'm now trying to get in touch with his new club and hopefully for 1-2 matches in Suzuki Cup. We're dreaming a little bit, but inside myself I'm reserved because I need to face reality, and reality is different. We will still have a very, very good squad for sure, even that can win the tournament, but with a player like him makes instantly 20% level up, and all the players are getting more how can I say, excited. It's just like that. He's a very, very special type. Angel is my friend. Angel is a very, very good guy, a very funny character and a super team player. Sometimes exaggerates dribbling a little bit. We have to balance him more favorable on our side on that respect, but very, very good player, and he was very, very important to reach the semi-final, because he basically won the match against Tajikistan himself, you know, with his pressure and with his movements. So very, very important player with good experience, not fearing anything, and physically so strong, you know. That gives us an advantage over other teams to have him in the team. He's here a little bit more than 1 year, so the girls scream the most for the Younghusbands, and then it's Angel. This is now the hierarchy. Yeah, he comes immediately after them. He's very, very popular. Yeah, Cyril, good news for you. Ali will be joining us for the August camp in America. Most likely he's now 2-3 months in action again after his terrible ACL. And I'm very, very positive that we will play in the Suzuki Cup. Sure, I think that we have another chance. We are planning now to get the Challenge Cup to the Philippines. First of all, the pre-qualifier round next year in 2013, and then also we want to go for the main tournament if we qualify. And I think we have a good chance to qualify with this team. So this is actually our short-term goal, to go to the Asian Cup in 2015 already. Other teams have also made it to the World Cup, like New Zealand and Trinidad Tobago and Jamaica. Nobody was thinking about them. I mean, we have a good momentum going on now, and I still have 3 years to prepare a team that is going into the World Cup qualifiers in 2015. So I don't know if we really can go there, but I know that we can go further than the second and third round. So we will invest a lot of time and efforts on that to go as far as possible in the 2018 qualifiers.